What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are joined today by a very special guest. Say hello to Ryan Ankrom, aka Ankrom Fitness on YouTube, the one-stop shop for all your anabolic needs on the platform.
Anything you don't need.
So basically, I put out that video for you guys, that would be like 5 days ago, where I talked about like, I was getting accused of being like on a steroid cycle from my recent transformation. And essentially I just broke down to like, it's been mainly diet. And I said that I'm going to be starting a cycle soon. And I asked you guys if you wanted to see like a breakdown of it, you want me to bring someone on the channel to actually talk about exactly what I'm doing. That is what we are doing today. We're gonna break down my cycle. I'm gonna go over my goals. We're gonna go over the exact compounds used, basically
why we're using them,
the stuff we're taking while we're on the cycle to make sure we stay healthy, we stay good, things like that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it! Yeah! So first things first, I want to start this off by letting y'all know what I'm not. You know what I'm not? A doctor. You know what Ank's not?
A doctor.
Neither of us have a PhD. Neither of us went to medical school. Do your own research, be educated, be smart, be safe, all that nonsense. Disclaimer over. Now, my big thing here and my goal with this cycle is, I mean, in the past I've made a lot of videos about old cycles and stuff I've done. There's a video I did like, when was that? Like 3 years ago when I talked about when I finally came off all the steroids because of all the bad side effects I had. And admittedly back then, because I've had people commenting saying like, why would you go back to it? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? And a lot of my bad side effects that I got, the worst one being acne for me, water retention, I would bloat real bad. That was mainly because honestly, a lot of those times, like when I would do those cycles, my goal was to get as big as possible and I wasn't being strict with my diet. I was eating absolute trash, man. I was like, my goal was eat as much as you possibly can, try to get as big as you can. And I mean, we talk about this a lot. Do you remember those times when I'd walk into, we'd meet for dinner and I hadn't seen you in a couple weeks and you were just like
what's going on?
Yes, something's wrong.
Well, for someone like Rim, whose body is constantly inflamed after cheat meals, is very, very finicky. I mean, you throw anabolics on top of that, you throw a plethora of bullshit and sugar and fat and carbs on top of that, and you kind of get what he got, which is a lot of bullshit. I always say that when it comes to side effects with steroids, with SARMs, anything, a lot of it is based off of you and your genetics. I know some guys that can have horrific gyno, horrific estrogen issues off of TRT, and I know some guys that can take a gram of test and not have any issues. It's based off of you, it's based off what your body likes and doesn't like, and that's why we start slow, and that's why we pay attention to how we're feeling.
Well, that's one thing with me is like, I have like a lot of buddies that have had gyno problems, you know what I mean? And I have high estrogen side effects, and I've never once had a single issue with gyno, where I know other guys, literally, like you said, they take like a little bit, and like they start getting the lumps, the puffiness. I mean, you can see it at some of these bodybuilding shows, when you're watching your favorite competitors, and they post their like stage pictures, zoom in on the titties, and you can see a little lump down here.
Yep.
I mean, real talk, if you want to find if someone's a fake natty or not, that's a different video.
Yeah, that's a whole other video.
That's a whole different video. So my goal right now, you guys know I have been cutting. I'll put some pictures up here, like what my current physique looks like when I'm training, when I got a pump. And a lot of my other cycles, I have went into them with the goal of like, all right, I'm doing the cycle and then I want to cut, right? Or I'm doing the cycle and then I want to get big. This would be the first cycle I'm gonna ever do where like I'm actually starting, I would say probably in the best spot I could start in.
For sure, which makes it easier.
Right. Don't you limit a lot of the side effects by just being leaner in general while you're on cycle? I've always heard higher body fat. I could be completely wrong, but I've always heard higher body fat makes the side effects more prevalent.
I wouldn't say so. I think it's just best like starting out already in a good spot. Because I've done it countless times where you start the cycle the day you go back to the gym and you're
right.
fucking, you know, even starting my cycle this time, I jumped right into it. I hadn't been lifting in months and I wasn't in my best spot, and you just kind of do it as you go. One of the great things with Rim this time is that he's already in a really good spot. We don't have to wait to throw certain compounds in, which we'll talk about that. He's already in a good spot. He already has a great foundation where he's at right now. So this will just be adding on top of the good shit that he's already doing.
So my main goal with this, maintain my leanness, but put on some size. Right now I've got my stats right here from this morning. 174, about 5'10". What would you say my body fat percentage is right now?
As of right now, 11, 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say 11, 12 is a really good guess.
Okay, I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to get roasted. So it came from somebody else, so we're good. But that's probably where I would have said.
No, that's a good spot.
All right.
Yeah.
So my goal here is if I want to lean out a little bit more. I don't know if I've ever. Do you think I've been below 10% before?
I would say when we first moved down to Texas, that whole time, I would say you were.
I'll throw some clips in from that time period. I think that's the best shape I've ever been in my life. Was right then.
I would say that's just under 10.
Okay.
So you're not too far off from that.
Okay, I don't think so.
You were on a cycle when that happened.
Yes.
You were bigger. You were harder.
I was.
Just a little tighter, but not for very much from where you're at now.
Okay. So my goal is if I can get to that level of leanness, if I can get single digit body fat, but be in better shape than that, way more than that. I want to say right around then I weighed around like 100. I think my lowest, we looked at it the other day, my lowest weight was 168 pounds during that. So if I can reach that point, be leaner, and maybe this time if I can be like 172, 173, 174, if I can maintain my weight right now, but get that lean, to me that's a win. If I can put on 5 or 6 pounds of muscle.
I think where his cardio is at, because we know that my man does a whole lot of cardio.
That I do.
With the diets, where everything's at right now, and with what we're throwing in. This is not a crazy cycle by any means, but it's some better compounds for what he's doing. Really, it's gonna help the look right off the bat from what he was doing at that time, so.
And my big thing too, I wanted to preface is that my days of doing like crazy steroid cycles, you know, where there's like trend out the ass, we got just all this crazy D-ball, like all this crazy shit, that's not like my goal anymore with this. I kind of want just that little edge, that little bump. I want to get the gains, but I'm really not trying to open myself up to a lot of health consequences. So we'll get into all that. We've been talking enough. Now it's time. Let's actually break down the cycle, what I'm going to be taking, the duration, everything.
All right, so obviously, anytime you start a steroid cycle, the godfather, the foundation, what you should always have in a cycle is going to be testosterone, right? That's common sense. We're gonna keep his pinning minimal. He likes E. He doesn't hold a lot of water on E like some guys do. So we're gonna have him start at a test E 500 milligrams per week, and that will be week 1 through week 14. This is gonna be a 14-week cycle. Nothing crazy. It's nothing like my 20-week cycles. I mean, that's right there in the ballpark of a regular cycle, especially for someone that this isn't his first one. And typically when it comes to his cycles, we would usually toss in like an Anavar. So instead of any crazy shit like trends or any nandrolones or stuff like that we know is going to mess with him. He does get these side effects, all the bullshit from them. We're gonna keep it simple and throw in MAST, which is masteron enethate, which is gonna be a long ester. It'll go right in with his testosterone, Monday, Thursday, super easy. Now, the really good thing with MAST is it's not an estrogenic compound. It can actually inhibit the aromatase enzyme. So REM does have some estrogen issues. Sometimes not as bad as most people, which is the one good thing for you, is we will cut his Aromasin off, a couple weeks into the cycle, see how the MAST treats him, because we do not want to bottom out his estrogen.
And what's the MAST dose exactly? How much MAST?
So we're gonna have right there 1:1 to testosterone. So 500 milligrams of testosterone, 500 milligrams of MAST E.
So basically I'll be doing 2 pins a week, Monday morning, Thursday night, 500 milligrams.
Correct.
Or 250 of each.
250 of each, Monday,
Thursday, which equals 500. Okay.
Now, we're not gonna start him out right on the MAST right away. We could, there's nothing wrong with that. This is just another way of doing things. I think a lot of people fail to realize there are many ways to do this. So it's only gonna be a 10-week cycle of MAST for him, week 5 through week 14, ending right when he ends his test.
And now from the MAST, because I've never done MAST before. So what's that gonna feel like? Because my last cycle that I did, I just did test 500, I believe.
So
and Anavar. I think that's all I did. So I've never done MAST. What am I gonna notice? Because when I raise my test, I notice, because I'm on TRT right now, 150 a week, but when I raise my test up, I notice I automatically get stronger. I feel like I'm getting a little bigger. My endurance seems better. But Anavar, I notice the tightness. What do I notice from MAST, and how long does that take to kick in compared to because like test takes like 2 weeks to reach that doesn't it?
It'll take
a little bit.
It'll take a little bit for the longer ester to get that full saturation. So the MAST is gonna be the same way. It is gonna be a longer ester. It's gonna take a few weeks. So the reason why I put MAST in here instead of some other things. So one, as we talked about, he's going into the cycle extremely lean. He's already has a great foundation. Now, MAST, you see it in a lot of like pre-contest cycles because it's a great hardener. Like I said, it can inhibit estrogen. It's not gonna have any estrogenic, properties to it. So it's gonna be a very dry compound. He's not gonna throw on very much size at all from the MAST. It's mostly gonna be a hardener, really good at that dense muscle look. So that is why we are having this in there. And also, MAST is essentially useless unless you're already lean enough.
Isn't that obnoxious?
Does it really have to be that long? All right. His laundry's done. So the one thing with MAST is you have to be lean enough to use it, because if you're 400 fucking pounds, it's essentially like you're doing sit-ups. You're just building what's underneath. So if you have a layer of fat over you, the MAST, you're really not gonna see it, and it's way too expensive of a compound to be doing that. He's already lean, so he will get benefits from it, right off the bat.
So it's gonna make me just like more aesthetic,
dense,
and
dry, hard.
Dense, dry, and hard. My 3 favorite words.
That's how we like it.
That's how we like it.
Like I said, said, he is not super prone to estrogen issues, but he does usually get some.
I get the inflammation and acne. For me, acne is the one thing I do not want at all. Pimples are my downfall. I hate acne, and that was the worst part about my other cycles when my estrogen would be through the roof, is I would just break out so bad with terrible pimples. And when you're on camera and you're editing footage of yourself all day, maybe it's a blessing I have the beard. So if all these pimples break out, we just cover them with the beard.
Yep, I mean, that's what I did.
That's what he did. Look at him now.
That's how you combat it. So he did get pre-cycle blood work. Everything looks just fine. Now, the only thing with his pre-cycle blood work, his RBC was a little high, his hematocrit, his hemoglobin. He is on a TRT, so, you know, over the years that just kind of builds up. Old cycles, that builds up. I don't believe he has given blood in a while, so he will go donate, you know, before the cycle, get himself cleared out, get those down, and he will be good. Since we do have the mast in here, and just to see what his blood work looks like, you know, while he's on cycle, I would say week 8 or so, we'll get some more done, see what that estrogen looks like, see what the E2 looks like, and that way we can gauge whether, you know, the AI is needed, whether it's not. But I'm gonna go ahead and guess that the mast will keep it right there in the range that it needs to be. Easy enough. He's not a hard person to control estrogen on. We just know he will get a few issues.
And normally on my old cycles, I was always taking Anavar, which he advised me not to. We're gonna do something a little different this time around. I think the main thing with the Anavar was the fact that it's so expensive right now.
So super weird, and this might be a complete lie, but it kind of coincides. So my dude told me that, hey, there's a little bit of a shortage on Anavar, oxandrolone right now, so it is pretty expensive. Now, I went on and saw the prices where, you know, a different place I get my stuff from, and what was it? It was $150 for 50 25 milligram caps, which is very expensive.
Yeah.
So we're looking at $300 just for Anavar. That's it. Now, Anavar's already expensive, but that's just kind of astronomical. And that's kind of where we fell into the mast. Now, mast is expensive, but throw in a little something different at him. I think he'll like Masteron. He's never used it before. And we have a cheaper oral we're gonna throw in there towards the end.
Well, you know, and my big thing was, hey, we can't get Anavar. It's totally fine because we have Anavar.
One letter removed and we're good.
That's it.
It's the same goddamn
exact same results, the exact same compounds, a fraction of the price. Full restock this Friday, 5 p.m. Central, out of the new warehouse.
Yep.
We're gonna be in there packing boxes. It's gonna be wild.
It's gonna, yeah, I'm nervous to say the least. So this whole week we're preparing for this launch. So these bitches are going out quick, I promise you.
Going out quick. We're gonna be in there all weekend packing. So set your calendar reminder right now. This Friday, the 13th at 5 p.m. Central.
That's weird.
That's straight. We didn't think that through. So since we're not doing Anavar, and Anavar is the one thing I have a lot more experience with, what are we doing this time instead?
So a little different, a little harder, but I think we'll be all right. We're gonna toss Winstrol in there. Now, a lot of guys are not fan of Winstrols. You know, it can, you know, fuck with your cholesterol. It's gonna be rough on your joints, especially with him doing a little harder cardio on the Stairmaster.
It's the first time I'm hearing all this.
We're gonna keep her limited though. We also have some cardarine on hand just in case. Might put him on that depending on how the cholesterol fares, because as we know, cardarine is great on the cholesterol. But we're gonna keep it short. It's gonna be week 8 through 14, not stupid crazy, and we're not gonna blow the dosage up. We're not doing 75 milligrams per 100. I'm gonna keep him at 40 milligrams per day. Nothing crazy. He'll handle it well. And by the time he gets to the Winstrol, since Winstrol is a lot like mass, a lot of people think that Winstrol will burn fat. It does not burn fat. It essentially dries you out. It makes you a lot fucking harder. You know, they call it the beach body drug. So with him already being lean as he is right now, he'll be 8 weeks in on his cycle with the mast, with the test. I assume if everything goes well, and then we can throw in the Winstrol and really just finish the cycle stupid fucking crazy. Now these are all like preliminary shit. We can change shit on the fly. We can change shit as we go. But if he sticks to where he's, you know, if he sticks to what he's doing right now with the cardio, with the eating, with the training, because we're training together now, this will be a great cycle, and it'll be one with very limited side effect.
And my goal is to be in the best shape I've ever been in. I want to bring the best physique. You know, a lot of times, man, it's easy for me to get complacent. You know, I'm just in here, I'm filming videos, I'm doing all this stuff, and it's easy for, like, when I don't have a goal on the calendar, when I don't have a goal in my head, like, it's easy to just like, well, why don't I order sushi tonight? Why don't I stop eating out of the RGF Anabolic cookbook and go down to Denny's? Why don't I do that? You know what I mean? It's so easy to make those excuses, but I think this gives me a good end goal. And, you know, and some people are like, we don't need steroids for that, which I agree. I don't think anybody anybody out there needs steroids, but this is something, I love bodybuilding. I love the lifting. I love pushing myself to the limit, man. And that's what we're doing here. And like I said, nothing crazy about this cycle. I mean, I wouldn't call anything about it super crazy.
No, we're keeping the trends away. We're even keeping the nandrolones away. Could call Winstrol a harder oral, but that's probably the hardest thing he's taken. There's no need to do the crazy shit. You know, at the end of the day, we are still just gym bros taking this shit to go to the gym and look good.
Right.
But at the same time, it doesn't matter if you're competing. It doesn't matter if you're just a gym rat. I mean, you want to take steroids and you're old enough, you take steroids because you're old enough.
Your body, your choice.
Yeah, see how that works?
See how that works? It's that easy, folks. It's that easy. Some people can't grasp that simple concept.
And of course, guys, if we're taking SARMs, if we're taking steroids, you know, we got to have some shield in there.
We do.
Don't fucking die.
Yeah.
Right there.
Protect the organs, protect the heart, protect, I mean, you formulated this.
I did. And this still has NAC in it, and it will have NAC in it moving forward. We're the only ones out there having it, but hey, ANABOLIC.com, ANC or RJF10 will save you 10%. But this is the old formula, and we'll have this formula moving forward.
Yeah, so I will be taking this during for
the whole time. So this is gonna be good for the heart, it's gonna be good for the kidney, it's gonna be good for the liver, it's gonna be good for immune system, it's gonna be good for a lot of shit.
Okay.
So he'll be taking this 4 pills a day throughout the entire cycle.
And then my other stuff, I assume it's cool. I'm gonna keep in my daily greens powder.
Yeah, I mean, so nothing changes. I think a lot of people have that misconception when you're on steroids that everything needs to change now that you're on steroids, and that's not true. You know, keep eating the way you're eating, keep doing what you're doing in the gym, keep doing cardio like you're doing. This is simply just an add-on, just like protein, pre-workout, steroids. It's all the same. It's just it's not all the same, but it's just a add-on to the good shit that you're already doing.
And then in regards to my diet, so right now, I've been letting you guys know, you guys be tuning into this video specifically. I'm on 2,000 calories a day. I get a minimum of 200 grams of protein. I don't care where my fat or my carbs lie. I'm eating primarily out of the RJF Anabolic Cookbook. Those beautiful recipes keep me full all freaking day.
Link in description.
Link in description. He's been eating out of it at night at times, eating them little deep dish pizzas. I see you over there.
I eat 4 of them deep dish pizzas.
Yeah, they're good though, aren't they?
There's a lot of cheese, man. Are they good?
They good. So, hey man, that's my diet right now. And you don't recommend that I change that? You think I should just keep it there for the cycle?
I think, like I said, a lot of people think they should change it. I don't. You know, it's obviously 2,000 calories isn't a whole lot, but with him having that big crazy cheat meal on Saturday, it's all gonna kind of balance out. We had talked about maybe doing a refeed, you know, with just a few extra carbs on like a Wednesday, Thursday for him. I think that might be good, but it's getting into it and seeing how he's
what
gonna
happens.
react.
Yeah.
But I think this will be a great cycle for low side effects, great gains. It's not gonna be fucking with his sleep. We don't have to worry about, you know, the Masteron in his hair. I mean, I don't have no hair. No. So we gotta worry about that.
I got a beard though. I gotta worry about the beard?
Yeah, see, the beard ain't going nowhere.
Okay, good.
That just makes it.
Thank God.
The body hair and the face hair comes and the hair on top goes.
So that is the cycle basically. And when we covered the AI, I'm gonna start with how much Aromasin.
So he's not doing a whole lot of Aromasin right now with his TRT. What are you doing? Just twice a week?
Yeah, twice a week. Is it? It's 12.5 mg?
Yeah, 12.5 milligrams is a typical dose of Aromasin. You know, Aromasin's a short half-life. You know, you should really be doing it every other day. If you really want to prevent anything, he's doing it just on a shot, which is perfectly fine. We're probably just gonna keep that going because the mast will come in. But that's where the blood work will kind of see if we're in the ballpark. So that 7-8 week blood work will tell us, hey, you need to toss an AI in, or hey, you're good, or hey, you're too low. But I think with the mast and the fact that you don't really have a whole lot of estrogen issues ever, I think you'll be all right.
All right, sounds good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. One final caveat, you know, there's lots of different methodologies, ideas people have about what the perfect cycle is. What might be considered intense to others is not as intense to us, vice versa. So
yeah, this is all, these are opinions. These are my opinions, these are his opinions. You don't like his opinion, you don't like my opinion, you don't gotta watch.
Yeah, I mean, end of the day, that's it, bud.
Easy.
That's it. So I'm gonna link my dude's channel down in the description box below. Give Ankrom Fitness a follow. I know this is different than the typical content I do on this channel, so y'all gotta let me know down below if you wanna see more stuff like this, if you'd like to actually see me document my progress with this, y'all let me know. And then we're also gonna do some collabs in the future where my blood work will be on his channel. We're gonna break down, you know, my physique, what's happening as we move move through it, things like that. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to my boy. I appreciate you coming on the channel. It's been a minute. It
has been.
Since we've had like a dedicated collab.
Yeah, a lot of the OGs know.
The OGs know. The Team Dry Scoop knows.
Ooh, yeah, Team Dry Scoop days, they surely know.
Ooh, goddamn. Feels good though.
It's old days.
The old days. It feels good to reminisce. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
It is. It'll get you.
It'll get you. All right, hey, appreciate you guys as always, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Comment down below if you want to see more videos like this. Subscribe to him. Subscribe to me. You already know. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I will see each and every one of you at the next video. See you guys. Boom.